Gabriel's 30th birthday party drew a crowd old classmates, and plenty of faces I didn't recognize during dinner. The group started playing Truth or Dare. Gabriel, when are you and Elena getting married? Elena was me. I stood by Gabriel through it all, from empty pockets to success, for years yet we're still not married. Let's not rush it, Gabriel said casually, as if the topic bored him. Across the table sat Leela. His white moonlight, the one he pined for, who'd flown back just for him. Word was he'd even given her a job at his company. Leela swirled her wine glass, feigning intoxication. A personal question for Gabriel, is the person you love here right now? The room erupted in cheers. Gabriel took my hand, right in front of her. The only one I love is Elena. Leela's face went blank, stunned, then a bitter smile. I see. Only I felt how tightly he squeezed my hand, like he might snap the bones he was dying for her to break. Begging on her knees to take him back. The next round landed on me. Leela's eyes misted over as she pleaded with Gabriel. Gabriel, let her do a dare, please. I stared at him in disbelief. He knew full well the dare was chugging a glass of 56 vodka. But one plea from Leela and he caved. Fine. Leela perked up, sliding her chair back and grabbing the glass. Wanna see what happens when she's drunk? It'll be hilarious. I froze. Back in school she tricked me into drinking too, then stripped me and took photos. I'd never forgotten. Panicked, I grabbed my bag. I'm out. Leela, suddenly strong, and a few others grabbed my arms. Elena. A bet's a bet. Gabriel, please. I can't drink that. He sat at the table, not even glancing up. Just do what she wants, and I'll marry you. Leela taunted, prying my jaw open and pouring the strong liquor down my throat. I choked, coughing violently. Gabriel, is this okay? An old classmate asked, worried. He scoffed. Relax, she says, got dementia by tomorrow. She won't remember a thing. Once I caught my breath, I slapped him hard. The room went silent. A red mark bloomed on his cheek. Leela gasped, lunging forward, but Gabriel pushed her away. Stone-faced. I'm used to it. That morning, I'd learned I was sick. I'd been excited to bake his birthday cake, when he snatched the ingredients and tossed them in the trash. Don't bother. I don't like cake. But he used to love it. Gabriel, are you mad at me? I asked carefully. He handed me his tie. Head down, Elena, tie this for me. Before I could, I'd wet myself. The living room was a mess. I stared at the puddle, confused. What's happening to me? His calm expression died and he just knelt and cleaned it up, silent the whole time. I don't know what's wrong, I stammered, hovering awkwardly. He washed his hands repeatedly before saying, you're sick. In his voice, I heard repulsion. Barely masked. I thought if I hadn't stuck by him through all those hard years, he'd have left me long ago. After he left for work, it took hours to accept I was ill. Anxious, I went to his office at noon. Outside, I saw Leela covered in mud, like she'd fallen. Wearing his expensive coat, her eyes lingered on him. Adoring, he acted indifferent. But when she looked down, he stared after her, lost in thought. And then came tonight. We got home late. Gabriel blurted out, Sue's coming to visit in a few days. Be good. Don't fight with her. It was too much. My composure cracked. Why? To watch me die. Elena, stop overreacting. I know I'm sick. No matter how you treat me, I'll forget by morning and love you like always, right? But I'm the one suffering. Can't I be angry? If she steps foot here, I'll kill her. He touched the back of my neck, gently forcing me to meet his eyes. His gaze was soft, almost tender. Elena, you can rage all you want but leave others out of it. Deal? Was he defending someone? Furious, I swept the antiques off the shelf, shattering them. The room looked like a war zone. He didn't flinch. Need more? The bedroom's got plenty. I can buy more. Break as much as you want. His coldness drove me wild. I sank white teeth into his arm, drawing blood. He winced, lifting me and carrying me to the bedroom. Little lunatic, be good tonight. You've tried to break up with me 18 times this month. You never remember. He murmured in my ear. Elena, this is all your life will ever be. But he was wrong. I'm stubborn. When I'd chased him, I'd crossed the whole city by subway. When I decided to leave, I could stay up all night, repeating his cruelties to myself, terrified I'd forget by morning. At dawn, Gabriel took a call. Leela, inviting him for breakfast on his way to work. Wait for me, he said, slipping out quietly. I opened my eyes, grabbed the camera from the drawer, and documented everything from yesterday. A reminder to escape. Scrolling, I found old videos proof this wasn't the first time I'd caught him cheating on my birthday. He'd taken Leela to the obstetrician. The receipt had folic acid and a pregnancy test on our anniversary. I'd found a 5-star restaurant restoration in his car, plus tickets to a private screening of Ambiguity that same day. I'd looked at the camera. Eyes red, I'm pregnant, but I can't tell Gabriel. The frame froze on a ultrasound. Yet last night, he'd let Leela force alcohol on me, just to please her. A sharp pain spread from my chest, searing, making me shake. I needed answers now. I ran to his office the moment Leela pushed open the door to his office. Her stifled sobs came drifting out from inside. I'm sorry, Gabriel. I regret it. Elena's still sick, he said. I know, but I can't wait. The person I love is right here, and I have to pretend. Shut up, he snapped, making me jump. Leela. Never say that again. His secretary blocked me. Elena, he's with a client. Please wait outside. Fine. Change of plans. I wandered to the lobby, pulled out the expensive lipstick he'd given me, and scribbled on the bulletin board. Minutes later, the secretary shrieked, grabbing me. Elena, what are you doing? On the board. I'd circled their photos, scrawling in bright red, Salutandcitr. Leela walked out, saw it, and paled, scrubbing furiously with a tissue. Elena. What is wrong with you? I smiled. You tell me, homewrecker. I dragged out the last word, venomous. Her face hardened. Well? What are you all staring at? Clean this up. Everyone obeyed like they already saw her as his girlfriend. As she turned back, I noticed her hairpin. The one I'd left in his office. Her hair was wet, like she'd showered. I reached for it. She shrieked, spinning around and shoving me hard. I hit a desk, knocking over folders and a printer, and fell into the chaos, dazed. Then, a dull ache in my lower belly. I shook with pain, barely standing when someone helped me up. In the chaos, Leela leaned in, hissing, quit acting crazy. I'm not a homewrecker. She gripped my wrist. Fierce apologize. Now in front of everyone. Her audacity made me tremble. Then warmth spread between my legs suddenly. Leela switched tactics, sobbing loudly. Elena, please. Let me go. Gabriel and I are innocent. Stop torturing me. A hand grabbed my wrist, yanking me roughly. Gabriel slammed me against the wall. Elena, didn't I tell you not to hurt anyone? It was the first time he'd yelled at me. Leela whimpered, like a wounded kitten. He glowered at the room. There's nothing improper between Leela and me. Any rumors will be legally pursued, no exceptions. See? He'd panicked. Drip. A drop of blood hit the floor. Gabriel, Elena, she's bleeding, his secretary cried. He looked down at the blood snaking down my legs, stunned. He met my eyes. I managed a bitter smile. Gabrielle Law just killed our baby. Do you think she deserves to live? Murmurs erupted. What's happening? Did she lose control? I looked down. It wasn't just blood, fluid mixed with it, pooling at my feet. I'd never felt more humiliated. I didn't mean to. Leela babbled. I thought she was going to. Gabriel ignored her, pulling out a handkerchief and kneeling to grip my ankle. Stay still, let me clean this. Soon, his crisp suit was stained. His hands soaked. Gabriel. Leela started leave. He roared, startling me. All of you get out. She fled, sobbing. The others scattered. Just say you're ashamed of me, I said, standing there. Veins throbbed in his forehead. Finally. Elena, we Ray going to the hospital. What about Leela? Whatever you want. His voice was faint, exhausted. I never want to see her again. Fine. I'll fire her after we got back from the hospital. Gabriel and I fell into a cold war. He wouldn't even let me go outside. In his words, I had no family left. And as someone incapable of taking care of myself, I'd be utterly lost without him. His coldness was terrifying. He loathed me, yet kept up the pretense of a loving partner. He came home on time every day, ate with me like clockwork. That day, when he returned, I noticed a ring on his ring finger. It was the style I hated most, the style Leela adored. Can you take that off? It's disgusting. Gabriel paused, set down his bowl, and slipped a ring into his pocket without a word, but he didn't throw it away. I lost my appetite, put down my bowl, and left the table. Elena, let's get married. Gabriel called after me suddenly. Once, those words would have made me overjoyed. But now I knew this was no act of sincerity. His company was on the cusp of going public, and scandals were the last thing he needed. Marriage to me was no redemption, it was damage control. I turned to sneer. Marry you, help stabilize your company for the IPO. Then step aside so you and Leela can live happily ever after. Dream on. Gabriel. I never expected his retaliation to come so fast. I woke at noon to noisy commotion downstairs. Opening my door, I found strangers in the house and Leela. She'd snuck in somehow, sitting in the dining room in my slippers, arms crossed, directing the movers like she owned the place. Throw out that bed, the bedding, all the clothes in the closet, she ordered. The nursery, which had stayed locked since we lost the baby, stood open now. All the things I'd carefully prepared were being hauled away. What do you think you're doing? Leela heard me, looked up, and smirked. Awake already? Gabriel asked me to have this nursery torn down and redone. Figured it'd hurt less if you didn't have to look at it. Oh. And once it's empty, there'll be room for me to move in. Convenient, right? My head buzzed, heart racing. Blood rushed to my temples. Gabriel had sworn Leela would never cross our threshold again. Now she was moving in barefoot. I ran downstairs over the debris. The baby crib lay in splinters. The tiny clothes and shoes Gabriel and I had picked out together were piled haphazardly inside. But the safety amulet I'd spent 3 months embroidering for our child was gone. Where's the amulet? Leela shrugged, annoyed me. So I tossed it. Garden. Maybe, or the pool. Who remembers trivial stuff like that if I don't get it back? You and Gabriel both die. I shoved her away as she stepped closer. Then ran for the garden, bare feet be damned. Leela leaned out the window, jeering after me. Look at you, Elena. Do you really think you're good enough for Gabriel? His company's about to go public. A CEO like him, mingling with elites. He needs a graceful, gentle wife. But you're just a dementia patient who wets herself in public. What else can you do? Please. Stop using those years of suffering to chain him down. Name your price. I'll get Gabriel to pay it. Just let him go. Look at yourself. What right do you have to demand his love forever? Near dusk, I knelt in the overgrown garden bushes, ignoring her taunts, searching frantically. My white nightgown was caked in dirt, my shins and feet scraped raw. Finding nothing in the bushes, I turned to the pool. Standing, I crashed into a chest. Gabriel held me tight, his voice cold and sharp. How did you get so filthy? I spun, grabbing his shirt, voice cracking. Gabriel, I just lost our baby. Were you that eager to tear down the nursery? Thunder rumbled in the distance. Rain threatened, thickening the air with suffocating heat. He brushed my cheek, avoiding my eyes. Guilty. With the baby gone, the room would only hurt you. Leela ran over, sniffling. Gabriel, she hates me. Her eyes, they're so scary. He said nothing, but his gaze clung to her. Sick of their silent intimacy, I shoved him away and bolted for the pool. Elena, it's dangerous. He grabbed my wrist, trying to pull me back. Rage flared. I sank my teeth into his arm, heard his muffled groan. He didn't move, didn't let go. Blood seeped into my mouth. Rain finally broke through the clouds, drizzling down. Ripples spread across the pool. Leela chased after me, feigning urgency, holding an umbrella over me. Listen to Gabriel, go inside. You'll catch cold and wet yourself again. Won't you? She smirked, triumphant at winning his trust. The rain intensified, pool water spilled over the edges. In the dark, without lights, having fulfilled l'id say, the water looked like a beast escaping moat. I grabbed Leela's hair and shoved her head toward the pool. Elena, Gabriel roared, dropping to his knees to yank me off, but I refused to budge. Throw my full weight onto her. Leela submerged, her dark hair floating as she thrashed, then stilled. Exhausted, I let go. She collapsed on the pool's edge, gasping like a dying dog. Gabriel, her face ashen, having fulfilled my obsession. He lifted her up and sat on the shore with her in his arms, patting her back frantically. Spit it out, come on. Spit it out. His hand shook. Words jumbled. Leela wept. Eyes closed. Make her go away. I can't stand her. Fire blazed in Gabriel's eyes. Elena, go inside. He turned back to Leela, soothing. I'll take you to the hospital. Still got enough breath to whine. I lunged at her again, Elena. Gabriel blocked me, shielding Leela. Then splash. I lost my balance, pushed into the deep pool. Water flooded my mouth, nose, eyes sinking. I saw Gabriel's frigid stare. He'd hit me. All because I'd hurt Leela. The nurse said this was my 8th hospital stay this year. The near drowning left me weak, shivering under the covers with a high fever. Gaily shot stun, but I had no one to complain to. Whatever Gabriel told the doctors and nurses, they all treated me like his wife. Disgusting. A caregiver was talking to me when Gabriel called. She hit speaker, holding the phone to my ear. Elena, his voice was hoarse. Eat properly or I'll watch you eat myself. I looked up. He stood outside the glass window, watching, threatening me. I grabbed the meal tray and hurled it into the trash, glaring at him. Why don't you just die, Gabriel? He looked sickly pale, but didn't react to my words. Is that so? He chuckled softly. Then I'll just have to watch you eat every day. Once stable. I moved from my CU to a VIP room fully under Gabriel's control. He visited daily. Elena. You need to get better. Watching news of his upcoming IPO. I knew my fate, prop him up for the public. Then get shipped off to a mental hospital. Eat the apple. He set a bowl of sliced fruit before me as he reached for it. I bit his wrist, same spot as before. The wound, still healing, chilling. Split open. I didn't let go until I tasted blood. Gabriel didn't even flinch next time. Bite the other arm. This one LL scar if you keep at it. Yesterday, I jabbed his wound with a toothpick. Sprinkled seasoning on it today. No toothpicks or seasonings were in sight. Gabriel. You might as well carve cheater into your forehead. He suddenly gripped the back of my neck. Kissing me fierce. Brutal, bite through my lip. Meeting my hateful glare, he grinned. I don't need your love, just remember me. That's enough. His touch repulsed me. I slapped him. He turned his head with the blow. Then asked softly, feel better? I smiled. Not until you drown in that pool. I cranked down the AC, burrowing under the covers. Watching him through slit-ted eyes. Gabriel. Already ill, paled further in the cold. Just a little longer. I'll leave after the nurse finishes your IV. An hour passed before he left, blue-lipped. Coughing harder, he vanished for days after that. Then Leela called, voice trembling with rage. Will you stop torturing Gabriel? He's sick? High fever, delirious. That's when I learned he jumped into the pool that rainy night. Searching for the amulet. Your point? If you were half decent, he wouldn't need me for his IPO. But you're just a homewrecker, too shameful to show off. She hung up, furious. I prayed for Gabriel to die, but he didn't. 2 weeks later, he checked me out. In December, days before his IPO, he took me away. The plane landed in Hong Kong at dusk. He held my hand, parading me through crowded streets. Buying me hats, clothes, bags, dressing me in the nicest. Carrying the rest himself. Don't frown. Smile a little. He pinched my cheek. Placing a fuzzy hat on my head. Perfect. Early in our startup days, we'd visited Hong Kong once. Broke, we couldn't afford a 4-figure hotel or 3-figure meal. Gabriel had held my hand along Victoria Harbour, staring at a tycoon's private yacht. Silent for ages now, he said. Elena, I rented the whole yacht. Want to see the night view? Hands in pockets. Wearing that silly pink fox hat, I stared at the harbor. Whatever, he laughed. Then come with me for my sake. Tomorrow was his big day tonight. He must have felt invincible after dark. Victoria Harbour blazed with light. I stood on the yacht's deck. Wind biting, as a band played behind me. Gabriel handed me a cup of hot milk. Come inside. It's cold. I stayed put. Elena, don't stand so close to the edge. It's unsafe. He pulled me back, tucking my wind-tangled hair under the warm hat. I stared at the inky water. Then asked, what if I jumped? Your IPO would get derailed, wouldn't it? He froze, then knelt to hug me. Elena, his scent wrapped around me on the wind. If you did, I'd die with you. I laughed. On be ridiculous. Tomorrow's your big day. I won't jump. Gabriel chuckled, relieved. Then let's go inside. They were playing your favorite piano piece. I let him lead me, hand in hand. into the spotlighted center stage, under everyone's gaze. The piano flowed like water. Gabriel, as charming as ever, bent to kiss my forehead. Happy 10th anniversary, Elena. 10 years. I'd almost forgotten. Any surprises? I asked. He laced his fingers through mine. Yes. But not till tomorrow night. I've got a surprise for you too. Gabriel. His dark eyes fixed on me. Really? Sometimes I thought Gabriel was absurd. So much had changed since we were young. Why cling to this charade of a marriage? His phone rang. No need to guess who it was. Go on. I smiled. Don't let it wait. He kissed my forehead, then stepped away to answer. Turning his back, the smile slid off my face. I spun toward the deck. Cold wind sliced through Victoria Harbor's glittering excess. I reached the rail, kicked off his gift of heels, set them neatly aside. I seeped up from my bare feet. Not far off, Gabriel's voice carried. Don't worry when I get back. We'll marry, see? All along he'd been planning their future. Rain began to fall, unannounced. I pulled off the fuzzy hat, felt its softness, then hurled it into the dark. It caught on the yacht's rail, bobbing on the waves. I ducked under a cabin window, wrapping my down coat tight on my phone. The alarm message sent, Gabriel has kidnapped me. By dawn, he'd be ruined. Minutes later, Gabriel burst onto the deck. Has anyone seen my wife? He grabbed a passing crewman, voice cracking with panic. A crowd followed, chattering in broken Mandarin. She went that way. I huddled in the corner, watching their frantic search. Gabriel spotted my shoes on the deck, his face drained of color. Her hat saw it in the water. Someone called. Gabriel tore off his jacket. Wall died, but the crew held him back. Mr. Gabriel, let the professionals handle this. He roared. She's my wife. Who else would really save her? Let me go. I'll find her. They hauled him back by the waist. Calm down. It's too dark. You didn't ever find her. His eyes red, he begged. I can, please. I can. I watched him perform. A bitter laugh escaping. When had he gotten such good at acting? Mr. Gabriel, stay calm. I'll call the police. Gabriel crumpled to the floor, silent. The man beside him loosened his grip, pulling out a phone to dial. In a flash, Gabriel vaulted the rail. Splash! The sound vanished into the night. I stood, numb. The smile was gone. Wind howled across the empty deck. Gabriel was gone. They found me hours later, huddled by the storage room. The rescue team dragged Gabriel from the sea at dawn, rushed him to the hospital. Ms. Elena, your husband's still in surgery. An officer said at the police station, we can't proceed with your kidnapping Clay until he's stable. But you're safe. Our team's with you. I stared at news of the accident on the screen. After a long silence, he knew jumping meant death. Why? The policewoman looked perplexed. Maybe because you're his wife? I shrugged. Don't ask me about his treatment. He's got a lover, Leela. Contact her. A day later, the same officer returned. Ms. Elena, we can't find any trace of a Leela in Gabriel's phone. Do you have her number? I shook my head. No, he'd hidden her well. We didn't even share contacts, but from what we've learned, Gabriel has no family. No one but you. I scowled. Impossible. Ask his secretary at the company. He'll know how to reach Leela. The officer's expression softened, grave. Tulina. Your doctor says you've long believed Gabriel's cheating with a Leela, someone who doesn't exist. It's part of your Alzheimer's. You've lashed out at people because of it. I stared, then laughed. Gabriel's hidden her that well. This isn't a joke, she said firmly. Gabriel has no next of kin. You have to decide if they keep treating him. Enough. I stood, voice rising. If that's why you called, I'll tell you. I want him dead, she sighed, handing me a phone. Gabriel's things are in your care for now. Call if you need anything. Rain fell as I left the station, cold and damp. I wrapped my scarf tight, sank onto a bench, and unlocked Gabriel's phone. My thumb grip worked, though I couldn't recall when I dated it. No clutter of apps, just a contacts list with 100 names. I typed Leela, nothing. Tried variations, still nothing. I closed my eyes. Calden T. Picture her face. Then I found a locked album. The password prompt appeared. I typed my birthday. On instinct it opened. Video after video spilled out. My blood thundered in my ears. First clip, autumn 2015. My own voice, bright with joy. Happy 3rd anniversary, Gabriel. Congrats on my graduation and your company taking off. I filmed this. I didn't remember. Candlelight glowed on a younger Gabriel, looking up at the camera. Why are you staring? I giggled. Of screen south side or north side? He asked. What? Buying a house, pick whichever you like. We'll make a home, on camera. I shrieked, launched myself at him. Kissed him hard in the dimmons. Gabriel's ears flushed red. Second clip. Spring 2016, Gabriel. Drunk, head lolling. I held the camera to his face. Giddy. Interview time, who kept you drinking so late? He grabbed my hand, pressed it to his chest. Mumbled something. What was that? I leaned in. 20 grand. Made 20 grand today. Send Elena to collect? What's in it for her? Deposit. In her account. The camera jolted. Hit the floor, pointing at a trash can. Gabriel's head appeared, vomiting. Off screen, I panicked. Hold on, I'll get you to a hospital. 100 clips. Our whole story. From startup grit to success. Settings shifted. Shabby rentals to apartments to a villa, and not once did Leela appear. Night fell, neon flickering on. I pulled my scarf tighter, clicked the next video. 2018 Gabriel and I sat side by side. I grinned, he looked grim. We dressed better now. Richer. Come on, huffing till Felbray obsession. Smile. I nudged him. He met my eye, serious. Brushed my hair back. I turned to the camera. Smile fading, eyes watering. I got diagnosed with Alzheimer's today. Always thought I was just forgetful, never imagined a kid like me. Doctor says it might slow down with treatment. I tried to break up with Gabriel, he won't let me. Gabriel pulled me close, we were not splitting up. You know what this means. I'll forget everything. Even you. Act crazy, Elena. He choked up, if you forget. The pain I'll be mine, not yours. I'm not leaving you, marry me. Today. I smiled. Sad. I hid the household registration book. When I get better, I'll tell you where. Then we'll go register. I can't wait that long. His eyes glistened. Please. Today. I kissed him. Be good when I'm better. Promise. The video shifted after that. Gabriel behind the camera, me in front. Me in an apron, beaming. Showing off my baking. What flavor cake do you want? Gabriel, off screen. Quietly turning off a forgotten stove. Lemon. I hummed, lemon it is. Wait. How does that song go again? He hummed along, matching my tune. Me, crying on the couch. A movie ended on TV. Gabriel laughed softly. Why the tears? I dabbed my eyes. It was so sad. If it's in theaters. We have to go. Promise. Promise. Ambiguity. The English version, not the Korean one. Don't mix it up. I won't. Cut 2, kitchen in chaos. Me in an apron, confused. What flavor cake do you want? Gabriel. Hiding a can of paint, sorry. Forgot ingredients, let us eat out. But it's your birthday, don't you want cake? He kissed me. Cake makes you fat. You wouldn't like a chubby Gabriel. I thought it over. Followed him out. Chubby Gabriel might be cute. Though, clips grew shorter after that. Me, suddenly wetting myself on camera. Gabriel dropping the camera, rushing to clean me up. I'm sorry, Gabriel. Never apologize, it's not your fault. You're not a burden. Me, growing erratic. Calm 1 minute. Hurling objects the next. A clip where I screamed at a woman at the door. Get out, you homewrecker. She cowered, clutching her head. Elena, it's me. Zhu Xun, your best friend. Please, I threw a cake at her. Take your whore and go, Gabriel. Minutes later, sobbing into the camera. Please, just break up with me. I don't want to be this crazy person, yelling at you. It's okay, he said softly. I don't mind truly. Next time tell me I'm sick. Okay, if I know. I'll try harder. In videos became Gabriel's monologue. Elena was in the hospital for the 3rd time this year. She hates me now, she sees every woman around me as Leela. Lashes out, thinks she's pregnant lately. The doctor says a nursing home might help. I can't let that happen. I tell her I love her, but she never remembers. His eyes red, he paused. Steadying his voice. Guess I'll take some time off. Be with her, slow down. She'll get better. More clips. A room full of people. Gabriel's birthday party. Gabriel, when's the wedding? Someone asked. He glanced at me. Sad, not yet. When she's better, maybe we'll marry abroad. Truth or dare? The woman across the table slamming her hand down. Gabriel, be honest. Is the one you love here? The room erupted in laughter. Careful, Gabriel. Zhu Shuang's here. Piss off, Elena's best friend. And you're done. Gabriel took my hand. Only Elena. Zhu Shuang's eyes glistened. Good, mean it. My turn. Zhu Shuang's voice. Gentle, Elena. Time for your medicine, can we take it? On camera, I stared blankly. Unhearing, Zhu Xing forced a smile. Switching tactics, Elena. Remember how you love drinking? Let's have some. Yeah? I looked up. She brightened, lifting a bowl of herbal medicine. Drinking's fun, come on. Just a sip. I panicked. Grabbing my bag now. I'm leaving. Everyone froze. Zhu Xing caught me, cupping my face. Just one sip, please? I fought, nearly spilling the bowl. Gabriel watched, jaw-eyed. Veins in his hand. Elena. Drink it, and we'll marry. He said. Zhu Xing. Quick, managed to get me to swallow. Her hand bore scratch marks from my struggle. Call it a day. Try again tomorrow, she sighed. Is she gonna be okay? Someone asked. Gabriel forced a bitter smile. I'll forget by morning. Always does. Rain tapped the bench. I stared at the screen, tears blurring it. Who was Leela? I couldn't remember. Gabriel would put down the camera and rush over, skillfully cleaning me up. Gabriel, I'm sorry. Don't apologize, it's not your fault. And you're not a bother. Gradually, my moods grew erratic. 1 second. I'd be talking calmly with Gabriel, the next, I'd hurl something at him. In one video, I screamed at a woman walking through the door. She cowered, hands over her head. Elena, it's me. Iris. Your best friend. Please, don't do this. I smashed a cupcake in her face. Gabriel. Take your mistress and get out. Minutes later. The video caught my muffled sobs. Gabriel. Please, let's break up. I don't want to be this crazy person, lashing out at you. It's okay, he said softly. I don't mind, truly. Next time tell me I'm sick. Okay. If I know. I'll try harder to control it. I will. Later, the videos turned into Gabriel's monologues. Elena's in the hospital for the 3rd time this year. She hates me now. She sees every woman around me as Leela, attacks them. Lately, she thinks she's pregnant. The doctor suggested a nursing home, but I can't let that happen. I tell her I love her, but she never remembers. His eyes red, he paused. Steadying his voice. Guess I'll take some time off. Stay with her, slow down. She'll get better. The next clip showed a crowd. Gabriel's birthday party. Gabriel. When are you and Elena getting married? Someone asked. He glanced at me, a flicker of sadness in his eyes. Not yet. When she's better. Maybe we'll marry abroad. Then came truth or dare. The woman across the table slammed her hand down. Gabriel. Be honest, is the one you love here? The room erupted in cheers. Careful. Gabriel, Iris is here. Piss off, Elena's best friend, and you're done. Gabriel took my hand. Only Elena. Iris's eyes glistened. Good. Mean it. When it was my turn, Iris spoke gently. Elena. It's time for your medicine, can we take it? On camera, I stared blankly. Unhearing, Iris forced a smile. Switching tactics. Elena. You used to love drinking, remember? Let's have some. Yeah. I looked up. She brightened. Lifting a bowl of herbal medicine and drinking. Fun. Come on, just a sip. I panicked, grabbing my bag. No, I'm leaving. Everyone froze. Iris got me. Cupping my face. Just one sip. Please, I fought. Nearly spilling the bowl. Gabriel watched. Jaw-eyed, veins bulging in his hand. Elena, take it. And we'll get married, he said. Iris, quick and gentle, managed to get me to swallow. There were scratch marks on the back of her hand from my struggle. Let's call it a day. Try again tomorrow. She sighed. Gabriel. Is this really okay? People asked. Worried, he forced a bitter smile. It's fine. By tomorrow. She won't remember a thing. Rain tapped the awning above me. I tilted my head, staring vacantly at the sky. Leela's face remained a blur in my mind. On my phone, I found Iris's name. Our chat history ended long ago, Iris. Gabriel's birthday is coming. I want to surprise him. What are you planning? Invite his friends over. You're the life of the party. Think of some fun questions. I get it. You want me to ask Gabriel if he loves you, in front of everyone? Don't worry, I've got this. It was late 2022, and I stood on a Hong Kong street, sobbing uncontrollably through a glass window. I saw Gabriel, covered in tubes. Have you paid? The doctor asked. I felt helpless. I can't remember my bank card password. Try again. Your husband is critical. He needs you. If payments are delayed, we can't administer certain treatments. Okay, I had little cash and no place to stay. Lingering at the payment counter all day, typing wrong passwords repeatedly. Miss, could you please not disrupt the queue? The clerk said at desk. I bought 2 buns with my last change, standing outside the ICU. For Gabriel, I kept saying. Over and over. Doctors and nurses hurried past. One pulled me aside, urgent. Did you forget again? You need to pay. Not buy buns. I stared blankly. She sighed and walked away. Someone jostled me. And the buns fell to the ground. I burst into tears. Useless, hopeless. Then the door opened. A nurse knelt before me, handing me a stuffed toy. Your husband's awake. He wanted me to give you this. He said not to be scared or cry. Someone will take you to a hotel later. Clutching the toy. I only registered one thing: Gabriel's awake. I waited outside the ICU for days, refusing to leave. When tired, I curled up on a corridor mat. When hungry, I ate whatever doctors gave me. Finally, after what felt like forever, Gabriel was wheeled out. I held the toy, standing beside his bed. He'd lost so much weight. Seeing me, he sighed. Just what I feared. They bullied you while I was gone, didn't they? I cried harder. They wouldn't let me give you buns. Don't cry, he said, taking my hand. It hurts me to see you like this. I stayed by his side in the regular ward, clinging to his hand, never letting go. When strangers entered, I'd shrink into a corner, trembling. Gabriel soon been visitors. Sometimes he'd struggle to his feet, heading for the door through his loose hospital gown. I saw scars from pinches, bites, blows. Some were still purple, others newly healed. I followed, gently placing a hand on his neck. He tensed. Did I hit you before? He relaxed, pulling his gown closed. No, you were good. Never a bother, I mumbled. I tricked you into jumping off the yacht ruin your company's IPO. That's not what happened. You were confused. Sleep, and you'll feel better. I curled up beside him, drifting into a jumble of dreams. In one, I remembered Iris, crying, arguing with Gabriel in an office. I regret it. I never should have let Elena stay with you. I'll take her abroad, find the best doctors. Do you think I haven't tried? Then why isn't she better? I'm going crazy. She acts like I'm a stranger. And I can't even talk to her. Gabriel, you're not the only one who loves her. Shut up. Gabriel snapped. Iris. Never say that again. Another dream. Me, furiously scribbling all over the bulletin board. Iris rushed over, face green, shielding me from onlookers. Get lost. Stop filming, or I'll sue you. Elena, this is Gabriel's company. Let's go home and talk, okay? I ignored her, shoving her. Homewrecker, die. She grabbed my flailing hand, furious. Quit acting crazy. I'm not a homewrecker. Apologize, now. I spat at her. Dream on. Show your face again, and I'll kill you. Iris bailed, tears spilling. Elena, please. Wake up. Stop torturing me. When Gabriel arrived, I was pulling Iris's hair. Fighting, she still tried to protect me from falling. But I tripped anyway, scraping my knee, bleeding and wetting myself. That day, I rambled incoherently. Hurting loved ones. Gabriel and Iris fought fiercely. He wrapped me in his coat and took me to the hospital. I woke to silence. Gabriel's back to me as he talked on the phone. My wife is ill. If you hadn't spoken so carelessly that day, she wouldn't have pushed you into the water. I was just joking. The woman's voice sounded familiar. Gabriel's tone turned icy. Calling my wife a burden to her face? That's a joke. If not for the villa's cameras, I'd never have known what you did to her, she shrieked. I'm her sister. Can't I scold her? Acting like a sister. Does the Hawthorne family really think I'd leave Elena for you because she's sick? Wake up. I regret letting you comfort her. What you did to my wife is unforgivable. Are you scared I'll have her committed? Gabriel scoffed. You are alive. Aren't you? I gave you the best treatment. Let you spout lies about Elena instead of letting me drown. You should thank me. I'd never let Elena bear a murder charge, not when I could take it. I stood, barefoot, and called his name. Gabriel. He paused, ending the call, turning with a soft smile. What is it? Finally, I understood why he'd always begged me not to hurt others in those muddled days. The woman at the villa, was it her? Yes. He opened his arms, pulling me close. I almost drowned her. It's all right, he'll survive. But after she pushed you into the pool, I won't let her off easy. He sighed. The doctor said demolishing the nursery might stop triggering you. I asked your sister to help calm you. I didn't know she had her own plans. After I got sick, family and friends gave up on me. Only Gabriel stayed. I rested my head on his shoulder. I want to go home. Can we? Staring out the window, I thought of our return from Hong Kong. I'd taken to sitting alone in corners. Gabriel, still recovering from his ordeal, was swamped with work, his company in chaos. A nurse watched over me when he was gone. I found movie tickets in Gabriel's pocket for ambiguity. He'd planned to take me, but I'd been in a foul mood that day, snapping at him, and we'd missed it. And the ultrasound report? It was normal. I'd never been pregnant, yet my delusions made me pester Gabriel endlessly. Furnishing a nursery, buying folic acid from the hospital. They said Gabriel had no family left. I was all he had. Yet I'd caused him endless trouble. Elena. What are you looking at? It was the depths of winter. Snow falling relentlessly outside. And 3 days prior, the pine tree by the window had snapped under the weight of it. Gabriel returned from work, his clothes still carrying the cold, damp scent of snow. I held up the half-knitted sweater in my hands, wondering if you'll get to wear this before winter ends. No rush, he said, sitting beside me by the window. There's always next year. My hand brushed the ring on his ring finger, leaning over. I kissed him gently. Gabriel flinched, starting to remove it, but I stopped him. I remember it, I said, unfolding his hand to examine the plain, even ugly ring. I drew the design. He nodded, lowering his eyes to pull out another dime and studded one from his pocket. They're a pair. I called it disgusting last time. It's all right if you don't like it. I'll hide them until you do again. I held out my ring finger. Put it on. I like it now. In the days that followed, I almost felt like my old self. Gabriel and I pored over old photos together. He took me to revisit places from our past, patiently stitching fragments into a coherent story of us in my broken memory. Once, my sister called, sobbing. Elena, tell Gabriel to let me go. I'm really sorry. I had no idea what Gabriel had done to terrify her so, but her panic unsettled me. Enough that I accidentally hurt him again. When I calmed down, I blocked her number. By spring, Gabriel took me to see cherry blossoms. The weather was warm, and my outbursts grew rare. He praised me every time. Smiling. Elena's doing amazing. You're getting so much better. But I knew the truth. My temper mellowed because I remembered less and less. I couldn't even recall why I'd been angry. On our anniversary, I followed Gabriel around all morning, asking, "Who are you?" 5 times in 10 minutes. His smile strained, barely holding. "Elena, I'm your husband." "Gabriel." I began forgetting where I was going. Often, I'd wake up in a police station, and Gabriel would rush in from some important meeting, hugging me tight. "It's okay, you're safe." Nurses came and went. No one could handle me except Gabriel. They feared me, couldn't contain me. Doctors suggested a nursing home, somewhere with locked doors, cameras, professionals to manage me. Gabriel refused. I'd rather keep her with me than let her fear being somewhere I'm not. After that, he brought me to work. During meetings, I'd sit beside him, playing with building blocks. One day, in the bathroom, I heard co-workers mocking him. "Can you believe the CIO drags his girlfriend to work every day? Pathetic. Running a huge company and coddling a retard like a child. Probably a publicity stunt. Stabilizing the stock price keeps us employed. Here's to forever." Then boss and his boss lady. Saw her wet herself once. Gabriel knelt to clean it up. Disgusting. I waited until they left, then stepped out. Staring in the mirror, my shirt hanging out of my skirt. The zipper misaligned, I fumbled to fix it but couldn't. I knew it was time to go. Elena had caught a cold a few days prior. Refusing to go to the office with Gabriel, he hired a last-minute nurse to watch her. Planning to wrap up work quickly and rush back that morning. Before leaving, Elena ran to kiss him. Then took the ring from his fingers. He said she'd get both cleaned. Gabriel promised to bring her tiny cakes from a suburban bakery on his way home, but the day spiraled. Crises at work kept him late by the time he returned. Sunset blazed across the marble floors in the kitchen. The nurse hummed, brushing egg wash on pastries. "Where's Elena?" he asked. "Upstairs sleeping." Gabriel climbed the stairs. Noticing the embroidered sachet was missing from the wall, a hair tie gone from the shelf. Frowning, he pushed open the bedroom door. Sunlight blazed through the window, mocking the emptiness. The bed was neatly made, a letter lying on top. Gabriel's hand shook as he opened it. Eleanor's handwriting was uneven. Ink varying shed written it in fits and starts. "Over time, dear Gabriel. I still think my 2015 decision was right. The doctor says my lucid days will grow scarce. I want to stay with you, but I'm scared of our future. Just as you can't bear to see me hurt, I can't bear to dim your light. Our journey ends here. I found a nursing home. A quiet place to finish my days. I can't keep my promise of birthday cakes every year. Soon, I might not remember. So happy birthday many times over. In advance. You'll find someone new to love. Live well with her. I'm sorry. Breaking up unilaterally is cruel, but my moments of clarity are fleeting. One moment of softness, and I'd hurt you again. I can risk it. Gabriel. It was good to know you. Goodbye." Sunset dipped below the horizon, light faded. The room was stripped of her things. The stuffed toy gone, all traces of her erased. Gabriel buried his face in his hands and wept. By late spring, Elena had left him. This coastal city had no distinct seasons. Sea winds carried a perpetual chill, sharp but not biting. Mid-autumn festival today. No family at all. Elena folded paper by the window as the nurse behind her grumbled, tidying the bed. "I was supposed to have the day off all because of you." She barely understood the nurse's dialect, even the paper folding contest. She'd only pieced that together days ago, guessing. "Hey, stop folding. No one's joining this stupid contest." The nurse snatched the paper frog from her hand, tossing it in the trash. In her first months here, the home had treated this lucid, family-less woman politely. But no one endured her mood swings for long. She withdrew. Stubborn, spending days folding frauds and scattering them everywhere. The nurse finished half-heartedly and left. Dinner service needed help. With families visiting the cafeteria, Elena stayed in her room until hunger drove her out. She wandered toward the kitchen, then got lost. When Gabriel arrived, driving for hours, he found his Elena chasing a silk scarf blown by the wind, stumbling. Staff passed by, indifferent. She tripped, spilling paper frogs from her bag. Gabriel ordered the car to stop, leaping out to run to her. A guard perked up. "Sir, may I ask?" The driver flashed a card. "This man is her family. Fetch the director at once." Gabriel lifted her from the ground. Her disheveled state felt like a knife to his chest. She stared, confused. "Who are you?" "I'm Gabriel." This beautiful man's forced smile looked so sad, Elena felt sorry for him. She thrust her bag into his arms. "He opened it full of paper frogs for me." She nodded. Gabriel slung the bag over his shoulder, taking out a handkerchief to wipe her face. Elena suddenly cried. Hungry. Of course someone had neglected her in his absence. Grief overwhelmed him, tears spilled. "Why are you crying?" she asked, patting his cheek, flustered. "I'm not hungry anymore." "Don't cry." Gabriel hugged her tight, emotions cracking. He must have scared her. Laughing and crying, clinging. Elena decided he was a little crazy. Behind closed doors, Gabriel erupted at the director. Elena had paid for care but received none simply because she had no family. When he stormed out, Elena clutched her stuffed toy, trying to escape. He caught her, sighing. No running off. To Elena, it seemed she'd suddenly gained a grumpy male nurse. Dusty, handsome, short-tempered with others, but kind to her. She started to like him. How do you start the frog? Gabriel asked, earnest. Elena nod him. Serious. First a square, then fold like this, he learned quickly. Finishing a month's worth in 3 days. Elena pouted. Nothing left to teach, you can go. Gabriel refused. As thanks, I'll take you out. Elena was too shy to say Nenda how to say, especially to someone she liked. On a warm, sunny afternoon, Gabriel brought her home. She didn't remember their past. Staring at photos on the wall, she said, your girlfriend's pretty. He kissed her. That's you. Elena blushed, covering her mouth. You're so forward. Gabriel led her through the house, walls plastered with notes detailing their stories. She read them. A vague sadness settling. Like she'd lost something precious. Gabriel never pushed her to remember. He took her to work daily. After the gossiping employees were fired, no one dared speak ill. On the way home, he bought her cakes, letting her chatter nonsense in the passenger seat. Many whispered Gabriel's life would never brighten. They didn't know with Elena, his days shone. Elena's memory returned one dusk. Friday traffic jammed the road, red brake lights flickering in the sunset. A familiar song played. The theme from Ambiguity. Suddenly, she remembered, Gabriel. Guitar in hand. Serenading her under the stars, confessing his love. She looked up at the man beside her. No longer young. Memories flooded back. She loved him for so long. Gabriel, she said softly. He glanced over, expecting her to point at a street vendor, then froze. Meeting her bright, tearful eyes, the love he'd waited years for, remembering at last. Elena smiled through tears. Thank you for letting me wake up and find myself still by your side. Gabriel pulled over, hugging her. Years of longing poured out, soaking her collar. You once said, if you remembered everything, you'd tell me where you hid the household registration book. He whispered, hoarse. Marry me? Dusk lingered as they kissed after seasons of waiting. Gabriel finally kept Elena by his side forever.